What's up, everybody? This is Cedric with Actual Christianity. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I want to talk about that Lil Nas video. All right, Lil Nas has stirred things up quite a bit with his very controversial video in which he's portraying himself as Jesus Christ, right? But he's also doing a whole bunch of other provocative, crazy stuff in the video as well. For those of you who don't know, Lil Nas is a practicing homosexual, okay? He lives that kind of lifestyle, and to no one's surprise, or at least to to lack of my own surprise, he made a music video that had a whole bunch of Christian religious tones to it, and a lot of people aren't happy. A lot of people are really upset, and I want to tell you this. This is for those of you who are deeply offended by the video. You need to understand something. Artists, creative people, typically make art. They typically make expressions to make people feel something, whether it be for good or bad, okay? When artists come around and make some anti-Christian type of statement or work, music or art, they're trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to make you frustrated. They're trying to get you angry. They're trying to get you to, take it to social media and give your disapproval and, trigger you and all that sort of stuff. And so I think it's really important as Christians that we understand something here. These artists are simply trying to stir the pot. They're simply trying to get you upset, to get you to talk about their material, okay? And it's obviously working because people have been talking about this for a few days now, and now I'm talking about it. But my concern is with people who are really upset with this video. Is what he's doing in the video sinful? Well, yeah, there's a number of things he's doing in the video that are not godly, to say the least. But we have to understand, this is what people who aren't saved by the blood of Christ do. This is something that we ourselves would have definitely done in some form or fashion before we became Christians. We all have sin. We all have skeletons in our closet. We all have a number of things that we're not proud of, that we're in fact ashamed of. And so we can't look at people like him and just be taken back by it like it's just a tremendously horrible thing. Is it blasphemous? Yes. But you should expect blasphemy from lost people. You should expect lost people to do lost things. And so my question is this: how solid are you with your walk with God? Because there are people in this world who are suffering because they believe in the gospel, because they trust in Jesus Christ. And so for them, seeing some guy in a dance video doing something that's essentially, religious mockery is nothing compared to what they're having to deal with by believing the gospel in an anti-Christian region. I think sometimes we can be really, really allergic to people in the world when God calls us to be in the world, yet not of the world. We can't let stuff like this rattle us so much to where we are ineffective at sharing the gospel message. That's the long and short of it. We shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be, really flipping out or anything like that. We should look at this and say, yeah, this is a lost person. He's just trying to get attention, and that's pretty much it. This isn't an actual Christian thing. When people actually want to talk about a Christian thing, we go to the Bible, we go to the text to talk about actual Christianity. And the truth is, people like Lil Nas would shrink away at that. They're not really trying to seek God. They're not really, trying to do something earnest. They're simply expressing themselves, and they're doing something to get people, riled up. And so,
can I say something too?
Oh yeah, my wife is here, by the way.
Hello. I was going to say too that it reminds me of the scripture that it says that that Satan has blinded the eyes of unbelievers like we once were. And so it's like your concept of the gospel or Christ, even though you might have heard of it, you're blind to it. So, like you were mentioning, we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And we should just be thankful that God saved us and continue to share the gospel.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that actually saves, and it's not necessarily, it's kind of like, even though we're still God holds us accountable, it's still at the same time, when you're actually blind and you're dead in your sin, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just act and you think, you know, like there's a possibility he thinks that God is all love and no wrath, like, you know, so
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I want to add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that you're absolutely right in what you said. We have to see those people and recognize that we could very well be like them. We could have been like them. We could have been doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but God intervened and he saved us. And so more than anything, we should look at those people and have a passion for their souls, that they would get right with God, that their sins would be forgiven, that they would come to recognize the foolishness of what they're doing. Because Christianity is essentially the low-hanging fruit of religious mockery. Like, when people punch at religion, they're 99.9% of the time they're punching down towards Christianity. And the reason why that's the case is because we serve a Christ who was humble, a humble servant, right? One who suffered, one who lived in such a way as to not be above all people and all things. You know, he lived a humble life. He lived a life that didn't shock the world in the way people expected. And so we're called to have this degree of patience with people and to put up with a lot of their nonsense and stuff. Whereas
like God puts up with our nonsense every day.
Yeah, whereas opposed to being, you know, like a practitioner of Islam, you know, there aren't many people in the Middle East who are mocking Islam because they don't live long enough to do it. And so we have to keep that in mind. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know what you think about artists doing this sort of stuff. And yeah, pray for Lil Nas. See you on the next one.